Hey everyone, Dr. Gage here. This is our third video for our golf series here. In the first video, we covered things such as the importance of assessing the kinetic chain, how in the golf swing and pains with the golf swing, there's more to look at than just the site of pain there. The golf swing is a very dynamic move and we need to assess all components of that. We then dove into our upper extremity, common injuries we see as sports chiropractors here at HealthFit. We covered shoulder strain, golfer's elbow or medial epicondylitis, and then wrist sprain strain there. This video is going to be tailored more towards lower extremity and specifically the hips here. So the hip is a ball and socket joint, meaning that with our leg here, the top of the leg is like a ball, that hip socket at the bottom of the pelvis is here, and that allows that hip to move in many planes of motion. So we have all sorts of planes of motion of the hip here, right? Even extension through here. We need to be able to utilize all those planes of motion and have proper joint motion without either joint restriction or soft tissue restriction in the area during the golf swing. So an example of that would be if I was to take my club here and get in my golf swing stance, and when I start that backswing here, you can see how many moving components are involved in that process just to get the club back in the backswing here. And with that, we need to be able to have hip motion. So when I go back here, you can see that this back hip, I need to be able to internally rotate into that hip here and load up that backswing before I transfer my weight down and eventually through the club head and out through the ball there. And then as we transfer through the backswing here, we transfer our weight from the back leg up to the front leg, and our rotation switch. We now go into a little bit of that hip extension here and our external rotation, and we turn into internal rotation into the front hip here. So some of the most common injuries we see with that is people presenting with pain in the low back lumbar region or in the glute region there. Now we're going to be releasing a video, our fourth and final video of this series here, that has our go-to glute stretch in there. It's something I perform before every round or driving range session. Just helps me feel a little bit looser into the glutes, helps me get better hip mobility. And one thing we see a lot is if we don't have proper motion in those hips, glutes, and the low back region, we're going to compensate for that motion somewhere else, such as maybe the mid back or all the way out through the shoulders and upper extremity. So keep tuned for our next video here. That video will show you our favorite go-to glute stretch. Feel free to reach out with any questions here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.